Welcome to the Weekend Tea with Southernbelle74. Let's get started. We're going to be covering stories about Kim Kardashian, Megthestallion. We're sending out condolences to the family of Prince Marky D. We're going to talk about Ted Cruz. And let's start off, first of all, with sending out our condolences to Fat Boys founder Prince Marky D. The rapper, radio personality, and producer Prince Marky D, whose real name is Mark Morales, passed away a day before his 53rd birthday. His cause of death is not known. A family friend sent out the sad news on Twitter. Prince Marky D was more than a rapper. He was one of my very best and closest friends. My heart breaks today because I lost a brother. I'll always love you, Mark, and I'll cherish everything that you taught me. Tomorrow would have been your birthday. Swing my way, big bro. We sent out condolences to him and his family. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. But he was born and raised in Miami and then later on moved to Brooklyn. I'm sorry, I want to make sure I get the information correct. The Fat Boys originally consisted of Darren Buff Love Robinson, aka the Human Beatbox, and Damon Cool Rusky Wembley. Let's take a quick moment to go over the copyright disclaimer. Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Let's go on into our next story, talking about Texas Senator Ted Cruz. He is being called to resign after he fled the state with his family to Cancun, as millions of Texans were left without power, water following a winter storm that's still going on right now. He accused his daughters of being the reason why he decided to take the trip, but little did he know someone leaked the photographs of him in the airport, as well as his wife sent text messages that were also leaked. Here's what he had to say. With school canceled for the week, our girls were asked to take a trip with friends. Wanting to be a good dad, I flew down with them, and I'm flying back to Texas this afternoon. That's what he stated. My staff and I are in constant communication with state and local leaders to get to the bottom of what happened in Texas. We want our power back, our water on, and our homes warm. But his wife said via text message, we're flying to Cancun because it's freezing in our house. And she invited friends and family members to come and said that they would pay for their hotel stay in Cancun. See what happens when keeping it real goes wrong? Let's move on to our next story about Kim Kardashian West. Well, it's being stated that Van Jones and her have been in an illicit, this is all alleged, an illicit affair. And this has been going on for months. And we're wondering, why is it just now that she's deciding to go through with her divorce proceedings with Kanye? Well, come to find out, Van is also going through divorce with his wife right now. Isn't the timing starting to come together? According to TMZ, because TMZ knows everything, documents were filed in the courthouse this week, and Kim, who is 40 years of age, is seeking joint legal and physical custody of their children. And they have 4 daughters: North, who is 7, Chicago, who is 3, the son, which is Saint, he is 5, and Psalm, who just turned 2. They had been together for 7 years. And they both have prenuptial agreements, Kanye and her. All right. Let's move on and talk about Meg the Stallion. It is official. Her and Partisan Fontaine are legitimately a couple. So congratulations to the both of them on that. But what's got a lot of her fans upset is her Harper's Bazaar layout that she did, and also the article that went along with it. Let's read a little bit about it. It was said that her supporters, I think they're called hotties, they were upset with her natural state. I guess they're used to her being glammed up, full makeup on, and so she went with a more natural look. What bothered me about the pictures, and I'm going to show you guys, was the poses. She looked very, I can't even put it into words. She looked very stiff, almost like, and I give that to the photographer. They could have had her look a little bit more flexible. She looks very stiff, and we all know that Megthestallion, she's very flexible. She can move, she can dance. So why was her poses looking so, they almost mannequin-like? They made her look so, I don't even know what the word is to put into words, but um, I just really feel like that would have been a great photo shoot if they could have put her in a different likeness. I like the natural look on her. Um, I just thought that the poses were what made me turn my head like, whoa, okay, girl. Let's get into a more serious subject, and that is traumatic birth and talking about um, gender, not gender bias, but colorism too much. Tatiana Ali, I know you guys know who she is. Let's pull her up. Very beautiful. I've always thought that she just has always been a very naturally beautiful young lady. Well, a recent study shows that Black women are at higher risk of dying from pregnancy-related causes than white or Asian women. Black women are more at risk for gestational diabetes, hemorrhage, and hypertensive disorders, and they are 3 times as likely to die during pregnancy than their white counterparts. Black women are sharing their stories of perfectly healthy pregnancies, experiencing traumatic births, and in worst case, death, not only of the parent, but the baby. So, actress and advocate Tatiana Ali has shared her own deeply traumatic and life-threatening birth. This happened back in January. She says, I've lived a very privileged life. The birth of my son and my pregnancy really were my first interaction with the type of racism that could kill me and affect the health of my child. The 42-year-old actress said that her privilege did protect her from systematic racism in the medical community. She detailed that traumatic moments from her first birth story, experiences of being ignored, coerced, and traumatized at such a very vulnerable moment that resulted in her having an emergency C-section, and her and the newborn spent a few extra days in the NICU. She said, when I left the hospital, I felt like we were running. It wasn't until she was really able to connect and talk to people in the reproductive justice space. She talked to consultants, and she said, when we were healing our wounds the best we could, not even knowing our story fit into these statistics. So I'm glad that she's bringing light to that. She says, the guilt is sometimes that I carry with me for a long time until I start to hear similar stories and realize the bigger picture of what's happening, and that my story is just one small piece of it. And it doesn't have to be that way. So she's an advocate now, and I'm so glad that she's taking this seriously, and she's actually doing something about it and getting her voice heard. Lastly, we're going to close out on a story with none other than Dr. Dre. As you guys know, him and his wife are going through a very expensive divorce. Well, now his ex-wife, Nicole, is alleging that April Jones is wearing her clothes and shoes. You heard it here first. This comes from none other than TMZ. They get the story before anybody else does. They said, according to them, that she saw them out and about. You know, there's photos been leaked recently of them going to dinner, Dr. Dre and April. Now they're a couple. Apparently, no one's really come out and said it, but lately they've been in the paparazzi. And so Nicole Young, like I said, his estranged wife, says she wants to check on her belongings because several women have been posted online, not only April, but several others, being inside the home and wearing her clothes. She wants to go in and make sure that no one is wearing her clothing and shoes. She says that he throws lavish parties and just will let anybody come into the house. And she said that was another reason why she just had enough of dealing with, the way that he's been treating her. And of course, if you'll check out my video that I did concerning the very details of the divorce, it'll blow your mind. Different things that she's asking for, the amount of money that she's asking for, alimony, all kinds of stuff. So check that out. She said that she left in a hurry because Dre was in a drunken state and he was threatening her. So she had to move quickly and she didn't take all of her belongings. She says she doesn't care who he's dating, who he's seeing. All she wants to make sure is that people are not wearing her clothing and shoes. So my producers are working on this story and we'll get more details on about it. Thank you guys so much for checking out my very first StreamYard. I'm new to how StreamYard works, guys, so bear with me. I'm learning all the different things. Super, super nervous. But I was hoping to do this in 15 minutes or less, which I did. I want to work up to 30 minutes, and that's my goal. I want to do 30-minute to an hour lives. As I get more comfortable with doing it, I will. So you can check me out. I'm on multiple facets. You can check me out here on YouTube, Southernbelle74. You can also check out my Facebook page, which is the same name. I also do a podcast on Spreaker. I do it once a week. So thank you guys for all of the support. It's really greatly appreciated. It's a lot. It takes a lot to begin a channel on YouTube. And I know, every day I'm learning something new. And I just hope to continue to grow my brand and my name. And that is one of my biggest things. So once again, thank you guys for all of the support. It is greatly appreciated. And check me out. I'm going to start doing a weekly live stream with you guys. I hope to open it up where I actually have more interaction and I can drop the link and all that stuff, but I'm not savvy yet with it, so I don't feel comfortable. So as time goes on, I'm hoping that I'll get more savvy with doing that. Okay, guys, thank you once again so much. It's been so greatly appreciated. We're going to close out with a little music, and thank you once again.